on bike taxis in Bengaluru. Even as the future of bike taxis in the city hangs in the balance following High Court orders, a viral video of an altercation between a woman passenger and a Rapido bike driver sparked viral reactions. The woman and the Rapido driver got into a physical exchange allegedly after an unpleasant ride. Video footage shows the woman getting into an altercation and assaulting the driver, following which the driver assaults her. The rider assaults her. The police have registered an FIR. My colleague Deepak Bupanna joins me live for a very quick update. Deepak, multiple dimensions to this story, as you mentioned. The girl reportedly the first to assault the Rapido driver, but it does add one more to the long list of violent altercations between riders, drivers, whether it's autos or bikes or cabs and passengers.
Well, there are multiple, layers really to this story that the police will have to investigate and come to the bottom of. Because while initially the video that went viral showed the man assaulting the woman, her falling to the ground, people nearby not really coming to her aid, and then eventually the CCTV emerged, which shows the entire picture, doesn't it? The woman carrying out that assault. Whether this issue stemmed out of a language barrier, whether it was sheer arrogance on either of their parts, or whether this was, an incident which was completely avoidable. All of this, of course, can be, revealed only through a thorough investigation at this point in time. But yes, we've seen multiple instances like this come to the fore from Bengaluru. The police right now have registered an FIR. He has been detained since this is a crime which draws imprisonment less than 7 years. According to the latest rules, he cannot be immediately arrested. They'll have to continue their investigation, and based on that, they can go ahead and arrest him. Whether there'll be a counter FIR against the woman, that's also something that remains to be seen.
Right, important there to observe those investigations. Thanks very much, Deepak. Remember, this incident, as I mentioned, comes in the backdrop of a larger debate in the city over bike taxis. Of course, the incident itself may not have much of a bearing on that debate. Following a High Court order suspending bike taxi services in the absence of regulation, the state government has been cracking down on these services. However, there have been sharp reactions from users who depend on these services for last-mile connectivity. The opposition to bike taxis come from auto drivers and taxi unions who say there is no level playing field and that private bikes are being used for public transport. It sparked off a sharp debate in the city where commuting, remember, is a nightmare. Two strong voices on the issue I spoke to earlier in the day. The first is noted Bengalurian, chairman of RN Capital, Mohandas Pai, who's taken a strong position in favor of bike taxis. I asked him why he's so strongly in favor of them, though there are safety and regulatory concerns.
High Court said you must take a policy decision and come out with regulations. If the safety is a key issue, we need regulations. Issue regulations. See, we have a problem in Bangalore, let us understand. We are short of public transport. We have only 6,500 buses, same for 10 years, despite population nearly doubling. We have a metro which is 3 to 4 years behind schedule. It's a big disaster. Nobody knows when the metro is going to start in various areas. The management and the government has goofed up big time. Costs have increased and we are in deep trouble. We have auto rickshaws, maybe 3.5, 4 lakhs, out of which people say maybe 1 lakh are unregistered, which has become a mafia. They extort money, they don't go by the meter. For the last 10 years, government is not enforcing the rule of law. Who are the people who are owning these autos? Who is behind all this? And you'll be very surprised to find the results. Why are the autos not going by the meter? If you talk to the auto rickshaw driver, they'll say fares have not been increased. Increase the fare. Let the government increase the fare, give the auto rickshaw drivers whatever they want. If they want 100 rupees per kilometer, give it to them. Doesn't matter. They're already extorting money. And let the people decide whether or not to use it. Allow these bike rickshaws, issue some regulations so that people have a choice.
Well, Mohandas Pai making a very, very strong point. Several commuters do use bike taxis for the last mile connectivity. The counter view to bike taxis come especially from auto and taxi drivers. Inayat Ali of the Peace Auto and Taxi Drivers Union I spoke to earlier in the day, and I asked him simply why passengers should struggle with fleecing auto drivers when they have other options.
Raghavji, we really appreciate that the High Court order, which has been declined the stay for the Uber and all the bike taxi, and it's protect the livelihood of the cab drivers and the auto drivers. Rules and regulations for the bike taxi, they are taking the private vehicles and they are giving the public services and they don't have, they are violate the aggregator company like Ola, Uber, and Rapido. They are violating the rules. They are keeping the fight between the workers, the bike riders, and also the auto drivers, because in the under the Motor Vehicle Act, in the private vehicle you cannot give the service for the public. First they have to make sure whether they got the aggregator license from the transport department, whether it's from state government or the central government. Nowadays customer is not safe in the bike taxis.
Two sharp points of view there. Sridhar Pabbisetti, urban planning expert, joins me live right now. Sridhar is also someone who hails a bike taxi ride when it's desperate, and perhaps we are all desperate at some point of time or the other in the city for that last mile connectivity. But Sridhar, there are two very important points of view. One is the question of last mile connectivity in the city, and that the auto rickshaw services, even if they aren't fleecing, may not be enough for a city of the size that's growing. But the other is that you've got private bike taxi operators just turning out into public service, public sector, public transport situation, which could result in regulatory issues as well.
Thank you, Veera, for inviting me for this. Very valid points by Inayat Ali on like the challenge of trying to use private vehicle for public transport. So that challenge can definitely be looked at and addressed by the government in consultation with all the bike taxi riders. Yes, you can look at yellow boarding some of these bikes and make sure that they are well kept, well maintained. You could look at ensuring that all the riders are trained specifically to become public riders, so that they are well aware that they are traceable, they need to behave in a certain fashion, and hence they are regulated, right? So definitely welcome move in terms of trying to look at how you can license it better, how you can regulate it better, and also more importantly, Bangalore is an underserved city. Road rage is a commonality. We should definitely come together and talk about the accessibility, the availability, and affordability. Until unless we kind of create more and more options, more and more solutions, we will not be able to solve the Bangalore congestion problems. Mohandas Pai, while talking about, definitely flagged the two key issues in public transport, where we are not doubling or tripling our buses. Tripling our buses is something that I mooted almost 8-9 years ago. And if we triple our buses, definitely we will decongest city. Right. If we kind of move the metro fast, if we kind of stick to deadlines, then definitely the city will decongest. While those two things can be worked on by the government, why not allow the bike taxis to ease up the traffic? This is not a legality issue that can't be resolved. Regulate them, take up the issue of licensing, and also take a look at insurance. Veera, incidentally, a couple of hours ago, I just got a message from one of the operators who said that you can top up your insurance at just 3 rupees per ride and get 10,000 rupee accidental coverage and 10 lakh rupee medical coverage. If an operator can push an additional top-up insurance, surely third-party insurance can also come in. So we should not throw the baby with the bathwater, change the bathwater, and surely the baby will be happy and smiling.
Right, there are multiple dimensions to it, as you point out, Sridhar. It's something that you're saying, long and short of it, it's something we need to make work because we need it desperately, and that's the only solution that we have at the moment till we have long-term solutions, right? So let's hope let's follow this conversation. Yes, go ahead, Sridhar, very briefly.
Just one more quick point, right? I mean, nobody in Bengaluru would do a cross-city ride on a two-wheeler, right? Even an auto, by the time you do 5 kilometers, 8 kilometers, the Bangalore roads are so smooth and so heavenly that you will start getting back pain, right? So there are different courses for courses. We should kind of leverage each one for their advantage and not really get into this thing saying that one over the other.
Absolutely. No, not one over the other. We need all of them. Thanks very much there, Sridhar Pabbisetti. We'll keep a close watch on that serious urban commuter issue in Bengaluru. But that's all we have time for on the Southern View. News and updates continue right here on NDTV.